What's up, motherfuckers? It's your boy Gorilla Mike. I want to wish all everybody that's in the States a happy 4th of July. Today is 4th of July for the United States of America, Independence Day. So happy Independence Day to all of my American friends and family that are in the States. I hope you are ready for the big weekend. Get your barbecues out, your charcoal, your meat. Big 4th of July celebrations going on. A lot of fireworks and barbecues going on. So, happy birthday to America. So I wanted to do this episode, not much going on in the news. Everybody's taking a little short break for the holidays, for the holiday weekend. So I just wanted to talk about America and, what does it mean to be American, and what is the meaning of and significance of 4th of July, not just to America, but to the rest of the world, and what does America mean to America, and what does America mean to the rest of the world. So the 4th of July, of course, is the American Independence Day. It's the day that America gained independence from Great Britain, long time ago. And of course, America has been on a very long journey, a journey that in many ways has sort of symbolized the journey of mankind, of modern civilization, right? So when we think about America, we think about the country that really symbolizes the best values that we hold in the world. It sort of was an experiment in many ways. Of course, it was founded as a British colony. It was used initially as a supplier to Great Britain, supplying raw materials and agricultural products and sugar and cotton and these type of things. And then, of course, taxation. So taxation without representation, right? So that's the whole idea about the Boston Tea Party and the Revolutionary War to gain independence from Great Britain. So America said, no, we're not going to be just your dogs and supply Great Britain. We want to be our own country. We want to be masters of our own destiny. So America was founded on some very important principles, that not only apply to America, but should apply to all of mankind. You know what I mean? Freedom, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, freedom of speech, all of these things, equality, all of these things are still ideals and ideas that we fight for, and we struggle to provide to all of mankind, right? And America for many years has been that guiding light, that vanguard, that first one into the fight for freedom. Maybe not so much in the last few years, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But America still represents those ideals to many people around the world, right? Especially to immigrants and migrants, especially now that we have these situations going on with the migrant crisis and immigration to America and that whole debate. But let's put things into perspective, So America was founded with some very important principles at a very important time in human history, when sort of we were breaking away from old Europe and the old European monarchies and colonies, and there was independence movements all around the world. The French Revolution, and then the American Revolution, and then of course it sort of began a period of liberation and freedom and ideas. So America, like I said before, was founded on some very experimental principles, and you had a group of guinea pigs that went to America. If you're talking about the original migrants to America, the Protestants, the religious people that were persecuted in Europe that went to America to find a better place and to have religious freedom, and then a lot of people wanting a better life, leaving Europe or some other places to go to America, the land of opportunity. Well, at that stage, it was still a frontier country. It was still building something new in a strange wilderness, a strange new land. So they came and they built something new. Of course, there was a lot of things that was going on behind the scenes in terms of slavery and in terms of the genocide of the Native Americans. Those things have to be also put in context. And when you tell the story of America, you have to also tell the story of those things. America in many ways was built on the backs of slavery. And the land that America has and claims as its own, the 50 states, was acquired through war and bloodshed and genocide. Let's be quite frank about it. So, although America has become that symbol of freedom, it is built on a lot of things that are sort of the contrary or contradictory to those ideals, right? So, so America's path throughout the years, gaining independence and then freeing the slaves, the Civil War, of course, and then going into the 20th century and a lot of the ideas of technology and the Industrial Revolution, all of these things was really the engine that really drove America forward. And as America was driven forward, so too was the world, you know. And then, of course, you had World War One, and then World War Two, and so World War One, World War Two. Before World War Two, America was still very much isolationist, right? They wanted to stay out of the affairs of the world and stay out of the affairs of Europe. But it was only during sort of like Theodore Roosevelt's time, around that time, going into America got more involved as a world power, influencing, exerting their influence per se, their cultural imperialism. In that time it began. And then after World War II, of course, when America got involved in World War II, then America really became the dominant superpower in the world. After, of course, World War II was the fall of the last hurrah of the old European Empire. So you had the fall of the British Empire that crumbled after World War II, and then, of course, the Germans and the French and the Dutch and all of these European empires, all of those colonies around the world really, disintegrated, and those colonies became independent, right? So America sort of took the reins of the world leader after World War II. And of course, the big conflict with the USSR happened immediately after World War II. So America found itself with a very important foe that sort of defined also what America became to be, right? So America is as much defined as it during its decades and years of peace as much as it is during its decades of war, right? So America is a warrior nation. Let's remember that, right? So home of the free, land of the free, home of the brave. America has a history of warfare. So America was founded on principles of warfare, and a lot of the things that America had to fight for. A lot of the principles that they put forward could not be won easily. They had to fight for it, right? So let's also put those things in the context in terms of what America really is, and how it came to be. America wasn't a saint, is not a saint, right? So America was an active participant in a lot of conflicts, right? After World War II, of course, you had the Vietnam War, you had the Cold War, you had a lot of things going on in the world that America was part of. A lot of the architecture of our modern civilization, our modern, geopolitical spectrum was defined by American foreign policy after World War II, and how they were counteracting the movements of USSR and Soviets and the communist Soviets, right? So America played a very important part in the history of the world in terms of where we are as a human race right now. But where is America, and what does it mean to the world? So America, like I said before, previously, America has lost a lot of ground in the last few years with the election of President Trump. Just deliberately, of course, stepping back from the world stage and sort of like putting America first, as he has said. What people fail to realize that America, once you step into that realm of being that number one country in the world in terms of world affairs and involving yourself in world issues, it's hard to step back because you create a vacuum, right? And when you create a vacuum, by stepping back, first of all, you don't protect your own interests. By being there, by being present in these discussions and being members of these international organizations and being a leader in global, crisis and flashpoints, American leadership creates security for America. By withdrawing that leadership, by ignoring or excluding yourself from some of the international issues, it weakens America's image and strength, because the world always looks at America for leadership, right? So by Trump stepping back, it has created a vacuum. Countries like Russia and China are now stepping into that vacuum, right? Because Russia has the muscle, China has the muscle and the money, right? So that's two very important principles to have: money and muscle, right? America had it, but America's choosing to step back for whatever reason, right? So, why is America deliberately weakening itself by stepping back from the world stage, right? So a lot of things are going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of, right? So the important thing that we have to realize during this 4th of July is that America still has an important role to play in the world, right? We still need America to be that first man in, last man out, you know what I mean? That defender of the morals and principles that America was founded on, and that we would like to see spread around the world. Those ideas of freedom and equality and the pursuit of happiness, right? So, those are the things that make America great, right? Being that champion, right? So I remember, I grew up in America. I went to high school in Silver Spring, Maryland at John F. Kennedy High School, and I went to college at University of Maryland, later transferred to Howard University to complete my studies. I grew up in my formative years, from 14 to 23, I lived in America. So I really feel that I am an American in culture, in cultural understanding and principles, and it has shaped and defined me. Now that even I'm international and I'm living in another part of the world, I still consider myself culturally an American person, right? So even living far away in Asia, American influence and American culture is still prevalent everywhere. It's the most dominant culture and most dominant influence around the world. So America has lost a lot of ground. I hope we'll be able to regain that ground and come back even stronger, whether it's under Trump or after next election, during a new president or a new administration. But America, there's hope. America has always been that symbol of hope, that guiding light, of people trying to find a better life, trying to live to the ideals of freedom and democracy. America still has that, still is that influence, that social media influencer. So, on this 4th of July, I would just like to wish America and Americans a happy birthday, happy 4th of July. Hope you enjoy your cookouts and enjoy your friends and your family, and doing all the things this holiday, this weekend, that makes you proud to be an American. Like I said, it's not about how many flags you have. It's not about what you have on the outside. It's what you have in your heart and what you have in your mind and what you have in your soul, right? So America, happy birthday. From the rest of us around the world, we love you. We want to see you doing good. You were never bad. You were always great. And you don't need to be great again, because you're still great, okay? So from Gorilla Mike, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell to get all the notifications for my new videos. And like I said before, if you don't like the video, you can go fuck yourself.